At some point in our life, we've all felt ashamed of something we said or did. It's that horrible feeling of remorse that you wish you could take back those words or have a do over. Sometimes others put shame on us too with that ugly phrase, shame on you. Well, shame is a powerful influencer in our life because it speaks to our value and worth as a person. I remember a time when I was little and my friend and I thought we were just being funny by teasing one of the neighborhood kids until their parents started yelling at us, shame on you. Well, I felt like hiding in a hole, but there was no escape. Guilty as charged. I felt ashamed and humbly apologized never to tease that child again. So, what's the difference between guilt and shame? Well, you see, guilt says you did something bad. Shame says you are bad. See the difference? Guilt, in contrast, invites us to accept responsibility and take action. Shame makes us direct our focus inward and view our entire self in a negative light. Shame shows itself in unhealthy self talk, or what some refer to as our inner critic. That voice in your head that says, you're dumb, you're not smart enough, you're just a bad person. You see, shame holds us back and often shuts us down so we can't act and we can't take responsibility. We can't make amends. I was so relieved when I was able to say I was sorry to my friend and her mom. See, guilt allowed me to say sorry. Shame would have told me I'm a bad kid and always will be. Shame is not our friend because this may come as a surprise, though. Guilt is. When we're guilty of an offense, we have an opportunity to take responsibility and make amends. The beautiful thing of the gospel is that when we were guilty as charged, God took responsibility and made amends for us. Listen to Romans 5:8. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, guilty, Christ died for us. When I took responsibility for my actions, my friend and her mom forgave me and freed me of shame. Although I did a bad thing, I was not a bad person. See the difference? That's what forgiveness does. It frees us of shame. When we receive forgiveness from God and others, we're set free from shame. God doesn't hold our sin over on us. Psalm 103:12 says it this way: he has removed our sins as far from us as the east is from the west. So why then can we have so much shame and unhealthy self-talk? Well, I believe it's because we don't really understand the power of what Jesus did for us. See, Jesus died for us and took responsibility for our sin, and he made amends. Jesus removed our shame and wants us to live free. No more shame on you. Even though you may sin, God does not see you as a sinner. You're not defined by it. He simply tells us how to respond in 1 John 1:9. Confess our sins, and he's faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness, all shame. Guilty of sin? Confess it and receive forgiveness. You're not defined by your sin, needing to live in shame. You're defined as a child of God, forgiven, loved, and set free from shame. That's how God sees you. That's who you really are. And that's courageous living.